the price firm. The second day they will drop it, maybe 25%. The third day they may drop it 50%, and they may bargain pretty heavily on the last day of the sale, whether that's the third or fourth day. You have two reasons to have an estate sale. The first one is to make the best money that you can, but the second one is to make it go away. On the first day, you want to make as much money as you can. On the last day, you want to make it go away. Because at the end of the estate sale, they are going to thank your hand and walk out the door, and whatever's left in the house now becomes your problem. Some estate sale companies will clear out the house, but chances are good they are going to charge you for that. Because the money that they're going to make when they do the estate sale is for the work that they do to set up an estate sale. Setting up an estate sale inside a house, a reasonable sized house, will take 4 people 3 to 4 solid days of work to get it set up appropriately. The nice thing about using an estate sale company is that they will have a following. They may have an email list of thousands of names they can send it out to. They will advertise it on social media. So that is a good reason why to use that. They will take a commission. Often the money you make when you use an estate sale company would be about the same that you would make if you did it yourself, because they have all these contacts. The nice thing is you didn't do any work. Auctions, so they're live auctions and they're online auctions. Online auctions, you probably know eBay. That's the most famous online auction. It's a good company. To use eBay, you need to be able to describe what you're selling very precisely. So I have a black leather purse up there that's got it's a crossbody black leather purse. If I put crossbody black leather purse, there are going to be thousands of them. If I say Wilson leather, black leather crossbody purse, 3 sections, that narrows it down. So if you're going to use eBay, you want to describe it very well. You don't just want to say, you know, multicolored shirt. There is a learning curve to use eBay or Etsy or Carta, I think. Okay. But some of them are easier than others. They do charge fees. You will be responsible for the shipping, but the buyer tends to pay the shipping. So you don't have to pay for the shipping, but you're responsible for it. The nice thing about things like eBay and those other ones is good for researching the value of an item you may have. Remember, though, that you are looking at items that have not yet sold. So if you see something on there that is similar to what you have and it says $1,000 is what they put the price at, that doesn't mean it's worth $1,000 until someone buys it for $1,000. So those are online auctions. There are also local online auction companies. Again, some are on the list that I have back there. They will come into your home and do an auction. It's similar to setting up an estate sale. They will set it up, they will photograph it, they will put it on their website, and they will start the auction. The auction tends to run for 3 to maybe 5, even up to 7 days. With an estate sale, you start at the high price and go down over time. With an auction, you start at a low price and go up over time. Oftentimes, auction companies will start it at $1. And you're thinking, wait, that's my grandfather corner cabinet my grandfather built. $1? Auctions, prices go up. And if you are having an auction in your home, don't watch it until the last few hours, because it'll make you crazy. Because the prices will not go up until towards the end of the auction. And the last few hours of an online auction are like watching a horse race. You just can't even keep up with it. If you have an item in an online auction or a live auction, you can put a reserve on the item. What that means is the corner cabinet that my grandfather made, I'm willing to sell it, but I'm not willing to sell it for less than $1,000. So that is my reserve. I've told my auctioneer, and if it's $999, I'm not willing to sell it. That's called a reserve. The auctioneer may, probably will charge you for that even if it doesn't sell, because they have done all the work that they should do, and it's your decision for it not to sell. So that can be a reserve. Live auctions, I'm sure that you've all seen it on TV. It's when somebody's talking so fast you're not sure what they're saying. You're terrified to scratch your nose for fear that you're going to buy something. Chances are good that's not true. Most auctioneers are good at knowing what the signs are for purchasing at an auction. But again, you can have a reserve. Prices start low, they go up to high, and usually a good auction will find the actual value of the item.
Do you know what the reserve is, or is it apparent?
It depends. Some companies will tell you the reserve, some companies won't. And the reason that they might not tell you the reserve is they're afraid if I tell you that the reserve is $1,000, I'm not going to even start bidding. But if you don't know it's $1,000, you might say, well, I'll bid $300. He's going to bid $350. Well, I'll go $400. You might get a little auction fever, and you might end up bidding it all the way up to the reserve, because you will find if you are bidding in an auction, once you get in that first $5 investment in there, suddenly you can't let it go. And a good auctioneer might say something like, hey, don't let it go for just $5. You bid 100, you bid 100 and they're bidding 105. Don't let it go for just $5. Bid 110. Well, you're not letting it go for $5. You're letting it go down. Then you're going $10. But you might get auction fever. I've had auction fever both online and in person at auctions. They're a lot of fun if you can keep your hand on your wallet. They're really quite entertaining. Any questions about disposing of the stuff? Usually somebody says something like, I have a milk glass pitcher and 6 goblets, what is it worth? And I have to say, not very much in today's world. One of the reasons why is that there's a lot of, as our age group starts to downsize, a lot of our stuff is coming onto the market, and younger people aren't buying that kind of stuff. A lot of us tend to have collections of things. Mine tends to be what I would call 1950s fruits and vegetables. My entire kitchen is decorated in 1950s fruits and vegetables, linens, more than you want to know. But that kind of collecting is not done that much anymore, or if it is, it's things that we don't generally have in our homes. So you might find you've got grandmother's Limoges china with the pretty pink flowers, 12 place settings, all the serving pieces, and you're thinking this must be really valuable. What may turn out is that Johnny's Superman lunchbox from first grade with the thermos, the stopper, and the cap, very little rust, might be worth more than grandmother's china. I'm not saying that it is worth more, I'm saying it might be worth more in today's world. People tend to buy things like that because it brings back memories. And now little Johnny is at an age where he has enough money that he can buy his old lunchbox back because he loved it when he was 6 years old and it meant the world to him. But nobody really wants all that china because you gotta hand wash it. So any questions about disposing of the stuff? Okay, and there, yes?
When they come to your house and have an estate sale, is it true that if you don't have a lot of antiques, they don't want to?
No. At one time, the idea of an estate sale was just someone who had an estate, a grand estate. They'll do estate sales now at all size houses because people are being far more practical about what they're buying. They might sell the linens in the closet. They might have a sign up that says towels, 50 cents, sheets, $1. And people will come in and buy towels and sheets. If you do an online auction, they may have a picture of the entire linen closet and say, linen closet. And it may get up to $20. And they take everything in the linen closet. So in today's world, if you do an estate sale, they'll sell pots and pans, cleaning supplies. Yeah. They'll sell cleaning supplies, good usable furniture. Be careful, and when you're thinking about your furniture and calling it antiques, just because your parents bought it may not make it antique. Antique has got to be over 100 years old, and even though it's over 100 years old, that doesn't make it desirable. Right now, what is very popular is called mid-century modern. It was that clean line, you might think of it as Scandinavian furniture. It was that clean line furniture from the 50s, 60s that's very popular right now. That would sell better than the dining room suite that your parents gave you, probably. Other questions? Okay, at the very back, I say, I have a couple of things to remember. One is, generally, the more time you have to sell something, the better price you're going to get. So trying to sell that corner cabinet on moving day is not going to be your best solution. Items sell when there is a market for them. Just because you had grandmother's china, or your great aunt's cross stitch, or your father's tools, doesn't mean they're going to sell just because they're old. They're going to sell because someone wants to buy them. I will tell you, out of all of the three things that I just mentioned, the china, the cross stitch, and the tools are probably going to sell the best. The cross stitch, maybe, depending on what it is, when it was done, how it was done. The china, certain brands still sell pretty well, but in general, no, china does not sell well. Just because it's old doesn't mean it deserves to be on Antiques Roadshow. As I mentioned, the lunchbox may be more valuable, and there's a chance that you probably have something in your home that is far more valuable than risking your money on a lottery ticket. My mother used to joke that the lottery is a tax on the mathematically challenged. Although I do like buying a lottery ticket every now and again. Any questions? If I may, I'm going to take a very quick minute to tell you a couple of other things. In the back, you will find some information. One of them is 5 wishes. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, but if you have not yet done your advanced medical directive, you need to look at 5 wishes. This can be a legal document in Virginia. I think you just need to have it witnessed, but you might need to have it notarized. It wouldn't hurt to get it notarized. What you use this for is like an advanced medical directive. You can choose the person who will make your medical care decisions. You can talk about how you want to be treated as you, do you want to be resuscitated? Do you not want to be resuscitated? I have a bunch of them in the back. Feel free to take them. Anybody who is over the age of 18 needs to have this. So if you have a child or grandchild who is over 18, they should have one of these, because even though they may still be living at home with mom and dad, over 18, mom and dad cannot make medical decisions for them without having to jump through a few hoops, because they are an adult at that point. The next thing, if I may, we have what we call the personal planning guide. And if you are interested in getting one of these, we have a card we ask you to fill out, and we'll mail it to you. And then about a week, Donnie will give you a call and just say, if you have any questions. This is a wonderful guide for thinking about how you might want to plan your final arrangements. It's got a place to put information about your death certificate. When you go in to plan the funeral, you have at least 100 questions that you have to answer. One of which is the deceased's mother's maiden name. Now, I know my mother's maiden name, but I don't know if my niece would know it. So there's also places for information about your family. There are places for information about what you might want in a service, about military service, about people to contact. When my dad passed, I did his service, and I had friends of his come up to me and say, I would have been there, but I didn't know, because I didn't know who his friends were. It's a great way to list people that your family might not know. My favorite is online profiles. Anybody in here have anything online? Facebook, banking? Yeah. Does somebody know how to get into your banking? Somebody you trust, obviously. Know how to get into your banking if you need them to do that. This would be a good place to put it. So if you're interested in this,